Hello Camilla. In this video I will give you feedback to last week's summary. Let's begin. In the video, title, name of speaker, the famous entrepreneur claims that, okay, that's a good use of reporting verb. To be a successful entrepreneur, person, who is this person? Needs to have excitement and aspiration in his work. Okay, I'm not very sure that that's the main idea. Needs to have excitement sounds like they're going on a picnic or something. You need to, this up to here it was very good, but then I'm not very sure what this person is doing here. To be a successful entrepreneur, you mean a person, or I'm not very sure what's going on here. Needs to have excitement. Yeah, I would say rephrase this. You mean they need to be passionate about their work, maybe? Something like that. Successful entrepreneurs. Well, even if you're able to rephrase this and make it very clear, that would still be just one of the supporting ideas. The first sentence should really capture the whole video. So even if it is hard and it's a very descriptive video, you should still do your best and see what the implied main idea is, even if it's not very clear. So maybe you could say Jeff Bezos claims that in order to be successful, entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs should follow certain rules or something like that. And then because it talks about all these different things, he gives different tips, but you don't want to enumerate all the tips in the first sentence. It will be a very long first sentence if you do that. So maybe to be successful, entrepreneurs need to instead of have excitement and aspiration, something a little bit more general that would summarize all of these tips. Okay, I know it's a hard first sentence to write because there is no clear main idea. It's obviously spliced, eight small videos spliced together into one, so it's not easy to do that, but still you need to try and do that. Maybe success argues that or claims that successful entrepreneurs need to follow certain rules. I don't know. Then here, that's a very good supporting idea. Great success can be achieved through minimizing the problems of timetable and schedule. Okay, fine. Also, Bezos considers that having a passion. Now, considers doesn't go with that. Not in this case. So your reporting verb should be something else. States that or believes that having passion is the driving force of calling who, and it can lead to a thriving career. I'm not very sure. You mean your vocation, your calling, but when you say it's the driving force of calling, it makes calling a verb and it should be a noun. So I understand what you're saying because I've seen the video, but it's just not grammatical here. He's talking about your calling. You should follow your calling. Your career, your profession should also be your calling. It shouldn't just be you're not in this job just to get a paycheck. So if you want to be a successful business person, you should be driven in your choice of career by your calling, by your passion. That would be more clear. Because when you say is the driving force of calling, calling becomes a verb here and it becomes almost funny, right? So you just want to... These are all very good terms to use, but the way you've combined them is just not grammatical. I mean, the word choice is very good actually. Driving force, calling, passion, all of that. But just the way you've combined it, it doesn't make... it makes calling a verb. So you want to recombine them, and it leads to a thriving career. Okay, that's very good. Resourcefulness is another point, and teamwork creates ingenuity. Okay, now here resourcefulness is another point. Up to here it's fine, and then and teamwork creates ingenuity. You've tried in a balanced sentence to combine two things, but it just doesn't work. Resourcefulness is another point. What other point that he makes? Another point that Bezos makes, another advice he gives. Or you could say Bezos also stresses the importance of resourcefulness. And that would be it. Because then and teamwork creates ingenuity is a completely different idea, and it almost sounds aphoristic, It's like an aphorism. You know what an aphorism is? It's like very pithy statement, deliberately made very concise. But in this case, I would say these two ideas, they're two separate ideas, and it just, when you combine them with and, it just doesn't work. Another important point Bezos mentions is another recommendation, or Bezos also stresses the importance of resourcefulness in business, full stop. He also states that teamwork creates ingenuity. And say a little bit more, expand. It's just too aphoristic. It's too opaque here. So you want to separate those two into two sentences and expand a little bit. And of course, you're already at 202 words, so you'll have to economize. For instance, the famous entrepreneur and founder of Amazon. You don't need that. You have to economize elsewhere, so that you don't end up with these, with a short sentence like this, right? These are two supporting ideas kind of really collapsed into just on a very opaque kind of sentence. So I would say split this into two and expand a little bit. You don't have to explain too much, just a little bit. However, he asserts that without a dream, the idea will not turn into reality and it remains as a startup. Okay, sure. In addition, doing hard work is a choice, and a person needs to be proud of being a workaholic. Yeah, I'm not. Who is this person again? I'm not very sure. In addition, doing hard work is a choice. Again, all of these, they're very aphoristic. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to save space because there's so much to say. But the way you've done it is just so collapsed, the meaning is just so packed into very short phrases that it's difficult to read this as somebody who hasn't watched this video. They would not understand what's going on here. Doing hard work is a choice. What does that mean? Doing hard work is a choice. He gives advice to future business people, future entrepreneurs. So he says you should not try to achieve success the easy way. You should not shy away from hard work, but you should try and achieve success by taking by doing very hard work, something like that. When you say doing hard work is a choice, it's just too aphoristic again, you see. So you need to balance the necessity to expand and explain more with the very limited word limit, which is only 200 words. I don't know, it's a difficult balance, but in this way, it's just not clear what's going on, It sounds almost poetic, like aphoristic. Aphorisms, they're just very pithy, short phrases. This is what this paragraph sounds like, very aphoristic. Another point is to start from small things, which means that a team of several people can lead to a large business. Yeah, here, again, 2 points. Start from small things. Okay, what does that mean? Start small. When you're setting up a company, start small. Okay, fine. Which means that a team of several people can lead to a large business. Yeah, again, it's not very clear. The first part is clear. If you give a bit more context, if you say another point Bezos makes, or another recommendation he gives to someone who wants to launch a business is to start small. Fine, that's okay. But then, which means that a team of several people can lead to a large business. Why does it mean that? Again, I'm not very sure. A team of several people can lead to a large business. It's not very clear what's going on here, especially the two combined together. Bezos gave advice. Remember, we use the present tense usually. Present tense. To people. Which people? A person, people. It's better to use words like entrepreneurs. People. Again, there's too many people here in this essay. We don't want to use, these are vague terms. Things, people. In academic language, you're not going to see that a lot. Here, instead of a team of several people, you could find another way to be more precise. He gave advice to people in the light that it is necessary to focus on the opinion of, in the light that it is necessary. Just again, you can economize and you can say here. Another important tip Bezos gives to future entrepreneurs is that they need to focus on consumers rather than on rivals. Okay. Here, in the light that it is, it's just a little bit wordy. Also, entrepreneurs, there we go, that's a precise phrase, precise term, should think about global issues in order to improve the lives of many people in the future generation. Okay, if you want to economize here, you could just say that entrepreneurs, the main goal of a company should be to make a global impact, a positive global impact. If you need to economize, and I think you do, because you do need to avoid this aphoristic phrasing elsewhere. To conclude, Jeff Bezos gave advice to people about the internet and passion for their work. About the interest and passion for their work. Jeff Bezos gave advice to people about the interest. Okay, what advice is that? In the conclusion, the best thing to do is to try and summarize the video, even if it is not very summarizable. This video is definitely not a very summarizable one, but the conclusion should still try. You should try to capture the whole video. So you could just say something like, in conclusion, Jeff Bezos gives important advice to future entrepreneurs, or something like that, just kind of wrap up the whole thing, right? Because this sounds more like one supporting idea. But I understand that this video is not very easy. It's just spliced, eight videos combined together, not very easy. I would just say overall, work on your phrasing, be very economic in some sections, which will afford you, you can then expand and explain more in other sections, because that's very important, so you don't end up with this aphoristic phrasing. Okay, I hope this is helpful to you, Camilla. Good luck.